Y'all like good news? Y'all like great news? Well, I like both. And so we're going to go ahead and jump into both of those because Brent Venables had his coaches show and dropped some good nuggets, things that got me excited. And you definitely are going to be excited because it adds depth to a team that appears to be really, really, really good. So let's dive into that. Before we do that, welcome to Unfair Sports, a Hog Media production. I'm your host, Jay. Thank y'all for pulling up to the channel. This video is powered by our partners over at Sleeper. If you're not checking them out for daily fantasy football, you are missing out. They're going to give you a 100% bonus on your first deposit up to $100. Use our promo code UNFAIR. So, Brent Venables has his Monday Night Coaches show, and it's usually, like the week of games. The bye week, he didn't do one. Actually, he did. He did one because they'll go through plays and stuff, but he did one this Monday, and then Tuesday he'll have his weekly presser to talk about preparing for Kent State, in which all of y'all know what's going to happen, really, right? Michael Hawkins is going to be the starting quarterback. We're going to see some changes, but Brent Venables basically announced that we've got two returns that to me is critical and key to what Oklahoma's trying to do. And as we keep that a buck, I'm excited about it because we're about to get Giovanni Gibson as well as Eli Bowen back. So as y'all know, Giovanni Gibson's the wide receiver out of Arkansas Pine Bluff. I know, smaller school, but dude's a monster, like really good. And he was so good that he basically walked in and took the number one spot at wide receiver on this roster. And we wanted to see him play, but then he gets hurt. Someone rolls on his ankle, basically snaps it. And he was out. He had surgery, but it sounded like no ligament damage. And he was practicing, in theory, late in fall camp. You saw him dressing out for the last couple of games, going through warmups. So they basically have been slowly bringing him back on. Well, now he's a weapon. Like all the highlights you got in spring camp, a lot of those catches, Giovanni. And now he gets to be unleashed against Kent State to really get started. So that got me excited first. The next thing that got me excited was Brent Venables says that Eli Bowen is back. So cornerback Eli Bowen, our freshman All-American, he'll be back this weekend as well. So that just adds more depth to that cornerback spot with him, Cortland Guillory, so you can keep developing and growing Cortland Guillory's game, Gentry Williams, as well as Kendall Dobie, who's trying to come back he's still working from injury as well. That's huge. I don't care nobody say, having that additional depth and proven veteran, presence and people with stats who's actually played in games, it's going to change a lot for Oklahoma. And I think that you bringing in Giovanni, a lot of your deep threat stuff comes back because he's probably going to still fly on the deep, but then you can continue to throw underneath to everybody else. And so for me, seeing that we've got how good our wide receiver room has been so far, I'm stoked to see that we're getting even more depth. Like I know a lot of you have asked, I see this literally in the comments every single day. What's up with Jaden Gibson? He's still rehabbing from the knee. They're not rushing him back. Why? Because they don't need him. Not this year. We're good. Especially since his knee injury was so bad. He's just rehabbing. BV gave no timetable, gave no answer on that. So which tells me is he just ain't ready to play yet. And that's fine. Because we don't need him yet. Wide receivers are solid. Y'all like Satania. Y'all like what Burks is doing. You like what Keontez Lewis is doing. You like what Kanik is giving you. They're going to add Giovanni in there. And then you still got your young guys and Zion Kearney who's giving you a little bit. And eventually we'll see Elijah Thomas. I'm telling you. And Ivan Carry-On Moore and all of them. But I'm telling you, we're good this year wide receiver because we're a lot healthier. Let me know what y'all think. Hop in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts. BV also talked about John Mateer, gave a little bit of update on him. Let's talk about that. But before we do that, are you using the Sleeper app for daily fantasy football? If not, you are definitely missing out. Like for me tonight, I'm looking at this Broncos and this Bengals game. Browning at 206.5 passing yards, we'll take less. We're looking at this Josh Dobbs on the more, though, because I like him at over 71.5. And no Jamar Chase. We'll get Marvin Mims on the more 24.5, because I think that at some point the Broncos are going to launch it. You can jump in the action too. All you got to do is download the Sleeper app, use our promo code UNFAIR, and you'll get up to $100 to match your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Now, the blurb that BV gave on John Mateer, very interesting. He said basically this. He noted that he's going to push the limits on everything when it comes to his rehab and getting back. He'll be good. He'll be one of those guys that broke the record in coming back, if you will. Y'all read between lines. That dude's working his tail off to come back as early as possible. And when I did my last video, I had some people upset. So get to the point. No, if you're not here to support me, bounce out. We Gucci. Point being, it sounds like John Mateer is pushing really, 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 really hard to play in Red River. And if he's able to do that, oh man, y'all will, and I think everybody else will, lose their mind with him on the field. I want to see John play in Red River. He wants to play Red River because it'll be his first one, possibly his only one. So yeah, he's going to push to do that. So we'll see how it goes. My expectation is there's a very good chance that we see John Mateer at Red River. I personally would prefer South Carolina, but if he can do it and there's no re-injury, why not? But I think actually with a healthy roster, healthy offensive line like we have now, and wide receivers, I think Hawkins will be just fine against Texas this year. He'd have everything he needed in order to be successful. And a good offensive coordinator. It's always a plus two, right? Look at that. But anyway, polls. Let's talk about some of these polls. So Sunday, you had the AP poll, you had the coaches poll, all that stuff dropped. And so I went through and, of course, took a gander, made some graphics or whatnot. Shout out to Locked On, letting me be able to make this stuff. And this is what we're working with. So number 5, AP, number 8 in the coaches. And when I looked at the AP, there were a couple of people that actually voted Oklahoma to be the number 3 team in the country. A lot higher than I anticipated. And with Kent State, we don't have to worry about anything because Oklahoma's not playing anybody that should knock them off. Let's just say that should. It's a 42.5-point spread. This defense is too intense for me to even think that we would even get close to losing. Covering the spread, I don't know. They should, but losing, absolutely not. This team is way worse than Illinois State, way worse than Temple. So you should have it. I can see Oklahoma sticking around this number, but I can see them moving up in the coaches poll depending on how Michael Hawkins plays. If Michael Hawkins puts up numbers, my anticipation is that the coaches will respect the team more. Because that's where everybody's question's at. What does Oklahoma look like now that John Mateer is out? Can they still produce the same results? Of course, I say they can, but, I'm not a voter. I'm also very close to the organization in the way of I keep up with it. Keep up with others too, and I can tell you a little bit more of those, but the thing is, that's what everybody's asking. So, I don't know. Now, to wrap this up, put a bow on it, we're hearing the conversations. Arkansas just fired Sam Pittman. Bobby Petrino somehow got his job back. Oklahoma State done fired their coach, defensive coordinator. They're going on a list of firing folks. I think Arkansas just fired their defensive coordinator and a few others as well. There's been a lot of coaching changes. So the question has been, is there a chance that Ben Arbuckle will end up at one of these jobs? And I'm going to keep it honest. No. I don't expect Ben to take any of those jobs. There's nothing against those jobs, but I think something bigger and better would be available for him in the next year or two. Could be a job where he really has a chance to be successful. So I don't think he will leave. I don't think he will take another job. I think it'll be a bit, which is a good thing. just know that his name is going to fall in every single job going forward because of what he's doing at Oklahoma. He's young, and people are willing to take a chance on a young coach because a lot of young coaches have been successful, has shown success. Just don't expect him to be taking any of these jobs this year. It's going to take him another year or two. So let me know what y'all think. Hop in the comments. Want to hear your thoughts. All right. We'll talk after Brent Venables' presser tomorrow. We'll dive into what all that means. But yeah, there's reason to be excited. So be excited. Shout out to Sleeper. Check them out. If you're not using them for daily fantasy football, you're missing out. Use our promo code UNFAIR, and they're going to match your first deposit up to $100 at 100%. Game on. We'll chop it up soon. Peace.